We're in Disneyland today to catch you guys up on what's happening around the park. We're gonna take you on a full tour. We're gonna go through every land. We're gonna check in on every attraction. We're gonna look at the crowds. We're gonna look at the queues, and we're gonna talk about what's new. This is our State of Disneyland Report. As we head down the steps from the train station, the first thing we can see, I mean, normally I don't get into construction stuff here, but we can hardly help it. City Hall is under a whole bunch of scaffolding. Construction walls and scaffolding out in front of City Hall. It is refurb season. So expect to see this kind of stuff happening in January, February. I would expect to see more along Main Street, but so far we have just City Hall. I love scaffolding. I love dirt and I love scaffolding. I love scaffolding, but it suggests to me a future, promise, improvement, that things are going to be better than they were before they put the scaffolding up. So it may not look good today, but I am happy to report that when it's done, it'll look better. And that makes me happy. And so does walking down Main Street in what is finally, it's been 10 days, they have finally taken every piece of Christmas decorations down. I was here just 2 days ago and they still had garland up on the, the facades of the Main Street stores, etc. 10 days. I don't know, maybe it was down yesterday, but as of today, it's been 10 days. So it's really nice to kind of have this nice, clean, classic Disneyland Main Street to walk down. Now, this being a State of Disneyland Report, as is our custom, let's talk about park accessibility. How easy is it to get into Disneyland today for both single-day ticket holders and Magic Key holders? And this is going to be a bit of a weird one because I can almost hardly believe it when I checked out the single-day ticket calendar for January. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this in January. You cannot buy a ticket for today. Okay, that one's, I kind of get that. But you also cannot buy one for tomorrow, a Thursday. But you can for Friday and not on Saturday. I don't know what to make of that. I'm looking at this and I'm like, what does that mean? Do they not want to? The park is not full, not by a long shot. It's not full at all. But for some reason, they don't want any more single-day ticket holders in the park on these days. There is room for so many more people here. We're going to find out. It's about noon. No, noon 30 as I record it. So I'm looking at the clock right now on the Disneyland Railroad Station. It's 12:30. It's not crowded at all, but you can't buy a ticket. You can't walk up and buy it. That's really interesting. I'm sure they know what they're doing, but that's a very curious thing. And you often hear me have this conversation normally when I'm talking about Magic Keys, but not about single-day ticket holders. Now, what gets even better, let's look at Inspire. You can make a reservation for today. I mean, there's somebody out there who's smarter than me that can be able to figure this out. You can make a reservation for today for DCA and for tomorrow at DCA, but not Friday. That's the day you could buy a ticket with a single day, but you can't make a reservation for Friday. And then it's wide open. It looks wide open on Saturday. Now that's because Enchant and Imagine are blocked out, but you can't buy a single day ticket for those days. The fact that you can almost synchronize those two calendars in the opposite direction suggests to me that there is some sort of, they're trying to control the attendance in some way. But I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think in the however long it's been since I've been covering park accessibility, specifically, with State of Disneyland reports, looking at these calendars and making these notes, I don't think I've ever seen it where you can make a reservation with a Magic Key, but you couldn't buy a single day ticket. I'm pretty sure that's a first. That's headline material. I don't know what to make of that. By the way, we can also look at the Enchant Key calendar. It looks a lot like the Inspire Key does, except for that Saturday that's blocked out and then sold out on the 21st. Whereas Imagines are blocked out for the whole weekend, both this weekend and the coming weekend in January. Look at that. Coming back to the train station to do our Accessibility Report has given us an opportunity to catch the march along with Mickey and Minnie. One of my favorite shows they do here at the park. There are a few things that make me happier when I'm at Disneyland than the march down Main Street. It all begins at the castle when the band comes through. They actually go through the castle, and then the characters come and follow them out, and they run along, and they're all full of energy and happy and everything, and they do a little bit out there, and then the march starts going. Oh, it's great. I love that show. I love it. So that's pretty wild, though, right? That's pretty wild, that calendar. I have given up. I've given up trying to, apply my own degree of logic and intelligence to this situation. I just don't know. I just don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do something, okay? That is obvious. They're trying to do something because this calendar wouldn't exist if they weren't. The reservation calendar wouldn't exist at all if they weren't trying to do something, and it has nothing to do with capacity and all that stuff. I know we talk about this all the time, but there's no need to control capacity in January. There isn't. No, it's 12:30. I mean, it's busy-ish, I guess, but there's plenty of room for people in here. But you can't come in. Disney is still limiting attendance. And I would imagine, actually, maybe that's because but it's January. I was gonna say, that's great. They're trying not to make the park too crowded. It's not gonna happen in January, though. They don't have to worry about it in January. They don't have to worry about, keeping the crowd small, yet they persist. What are they doing? It's fascinating. Not complaining. I want you guys to understand that. When I talk about this conversation that we're having is an observation and bewilderment. But I'm not like shaking my fist at anything. I'm just curious, what is the method behind the madness? Because it does seem like madness, it really does. Everybody would say, just open the park up. It seems like that's the solution to so many different issues. I don't know. Just heard somebody talking about Knott's Berry Farm. Reminded me, I need to make another trip. I've made a second trip to Universal, but I have not yet made a second trip to Knott's Berry Farm to follow up on how the crowds are looking there now that it's January. I'm expecting it to be quite slow, but so far our schedule has not allowed me to do that as of yet, and we're busy this week, so maybe next week we'll plan some trips to Knott's Berry Farm and Universal again. And for now, we're gonna give a mythical high five to this horse right here in this streetcar. How delightful. Oh, that's great. Okay, let's continue our show. Heading into Adventureland. And start looking at some lands and attractions. I like the looks of this. This is looking pretty busy in here in Adventureland, but then that's often the case when we come through here. This is a land that is just a natural choke point. It narrows quite a bit as you walk through the land. Very small land, really, very small. It's one street, that's it. You get one street here in Adventureland. But then all the action is taking place, back there. 30 minutes for Jungle Cruise. Not bad at all. Nothing upstairs. Well, there's the front half is full, but now look at that. 40 minutes for Indiana Jones. It's open and it's 40 minutes. Let's investigate. It's getting full though. That 40 won't last probably. Oh wait, there's still some queue space back here. This is why it pays to just do a little bit of recon, walk into the queue a little bit and investigate on your own to, try to figure out where it is exactly. When this is full out here, it's about 20 minutes to do the whole thing, 20, 25 minutes. So you're not getting all that. You're only getting maybe 15 or 20 out of that. By the way, we got Jungle Cruise right next door on our right. Look for an updated video on that one. I don't know if you saw or heard, but the elephant has been missing for a while. Not missing, it's been gone, but they've been refurbing the elephant. That got airlifted into the park yesterday morning. So we'll be talking about that in our upcoming construction report. The airlifted elephant and the Himalayan tiger. Himalayan over here, Himalayan over there. Stay tuned for more on that in our next construction report, as well as obviously the City Hall construction, which is a couple things we've noticed today.
I bet they'd have that.
And as we approach Pirates of the Caribbean, we are 5 days away from Pirates being added to Genie Plus Lightning Lane. We observed they're testing some new queue arrangements here. We were here on Monday, and it looks like that is still happening. It's right side only as you approach. 35-minute standby today. I'm looking forward to getting into one of these queues after they put on the one I was in on Monday. It was split. It was right side only, and it went like butter. It was posted 40, took us 25 to get to the boat. Hardly any stopping. We were moving almost continuously through the whole thing. It was an enjoyable queue to stand in, and that was with the left side closed. And that, if they continue to do that, then we won't have a problem. I want to do some more reps, but my feeling is that if they keep it split, if they don't mix them, they're going to be fine. They're going to be great. It's the mixing that causes the delays, that causes the stopping of the queue. And so it doesn't really matter how busy Lightning Lane is on any given day. If they are dedicated to the left side, there could be 1,000 people in that boat. It won't matter. We've already been split up. Now it could be that they were taking moments. I noticed there was a moment on Monday where a burst of guests came into the left side, and I thought there's no way there's that many VIP and DAS members. So it could be that they are at certain points relieving the pressure of standby and sending some of those guests that are in the right standby queue and sending them to the left if it's empty. So that's something that we could look out for. But in general, I'm actually kind of optimistic that this could work out. It's about 12:45 as I record this in New Orleans Square. Doesn't actually look too busy in there. There's a group here, but they're actually just looking at the menu. This isn't a queue. Pop in there and see what we can see. Oh, there's Shelly. We're running both sides. Moderately busy. Not a big deal. This is an easy standby, you guys. I've mentioned this last month. I'm going to say it again this month for anybody new watching. Don't bother with mobile order at Tiana's Palace. Just go standby. It's so efficient. I love the way they serve the food here. It's actually the same case for Rancho and Frontierland and Plaza Inn, actually. Plaza Inn, it seems like it would be crazy, like you need a reservation to go to the Plaza Inn, but it's actually one of the most efficient operations. It's just in the same way that Rancho and Tiana's Palace are. So if you don't like mobile order and you want a quick standby, those are your three best bets. Blue Bayou is closed. They're under a refurb. We did a ride through in Pirates. Those walls were kind of, they were disconcerting. I didn't like the walls up at Blue Bayou on the other side as we're going through. On the other side of this wall, Pirates is happening right now. The bayou scene with the alligator and the banjo is happening straight through this wall. And that brings us to Haunted Mansion. This is a situation that we've been paying close attention to, obviously, because they've gotten a head start on construction with the construction walls up here, out in half of the, whatever you call this, Magnolia Gardens, I think is the word they've used. This also will be closing in 5 days. By the time we do our next report, it will be closed. I've been paying attention to see what impact, the queue closure inside has had on standby, and it's actually been kind of negligible. They haven't even had to. When we were here the first day they put those walls up, they had a queue set up. They had tape set up to extend the queue around, and you can see they've already taken that out. They feel like they don't need it. They took out the popcorn cart and everything, thinking that there was going to be a huge impact on the length of the queue out here. Because you've lost a whole bunch of square footage inside there, and you have to displace those guests somewhere. But this right here, this queue that I'm looking at is actually the longest queue that I've seen since I've been, since they put those walls up and I've been paying attention. That's the longest one. This makes it hard to see what the posted wait time is. I'm trying to look through that crowd right now, and I still don't see it. There it is, right there on the edge. It says 40 minutes. I'm just going to be fascinated to see how this plays out. They're talking about, or the expectation is that this is going to be closed all the way to August. It's going to take that long to do whatever it is I got to do. I'm curious to see if they're going to hit the gas on this at all, because they sure can't afford to have too much, both this attraction and Splashdown at the same time for too long. It's just not good business. It's not good show. And I haven't seen them do any kind of prep for the construction of the gift shop that's going to happen right here. No demo, no walls, no nothing. That's got to be built in the next 7 or 8 months as well. They've got to tear all this down. Well, there's not a lot of demo to happen here, but they got to take this down and build a gift shop here in 7 months. Good luck, I guess. Doesn't that seem like not a lot of time to build something, even if something as small as a gift shop? Makes me think that it may extend past that opening date. It took them 2 years to do the trials. Honestly. Meanwhile, there's Tiana's Bayou Adventure underway. I've seen recently they put the water tower up. That was a big moment. There's smoke coming out of the top of that construction wall. Stay tuned for the latest on that in our next construction update coming on Monday. We'll be sure to cover all of that we just saw back there. So far, though, I have to say, I've been pleased with the level of crowds here. It's kind of busy. It's not packed. Still not slow enough to constitute, not selling tickets, single-day tickets. It's still, hi guys. It's still kind of flabbergasting. Oh, look at that. They're just busy. Whew, go get it, guys. Sorry. Got to put the show on hold. Got to pay your respect. You hear the train, you hear the monorail, you got to pay your respect. I expect that from every single one of you out there, Fresh Bake. Don't take your eyes off the train. Don't take your eyes off the monorail until it has passed. Those are the rules. They turn the water off back here. I just like being here in the 100-acre wood. I have no purpose other than to show you how delightful this queue is, and the music. Winnie the Pooh is just pure. Don't you agree? Winnie the Pooh is pure, Mickey Mouse is pure, and the fact that they made horror films out of both of those characters because they're in the public domain makes me crazy. The disrespect for Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse to make those movies. I mean, you got to be some kind of hater. You just got to have a cold, dark heart to do that. I swear. To think, like you've just been waiting for that moment. I really want to make a horror film around Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh. That's the thing that needs to happen. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. They deserve better than that. Not a lot of river traffic these days with the Mark Twain down, and I think I saw where the Columbia was supposed to be going offline as well. I don't know if it's before or after the Mark Twain does, off the top of my head, but it could be the case where the only traffic on the river for a certain point is the canoes, which would be okay with me. I mean, I do love the Mark Twain, don't get me wrong, but I love the tranquility of just seeing and hearing the canoes on the river all by themselves like that. This is why I appreciate the rivers of America so much. Once you get on them, you're gone. You've left Disneyland. You're on that canoe right there. The rest of the park does not exist. Same for the Mark Twain. You guys want to do a wait time test? We're in, I forgot the name of the number of the sections now, but we're looking at 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, 24, if I recall, plus 20 inside, 45 minutes. Is my prediction for the actual wait time right now for Rise of the Resistance. It's posted 75. No way in heck is that accurate. There's no way. I don't see. These are the only 4 guests in the Lightning Lane queue right there. Oh, there's 3 more up there. But there's no collection of guests out here where they blend in. So that's very light. If I see the queue that we just saw now, and I see the Lightning Lane situation as we just saw now, I'm getting in that queue. That's a go. That's a win. It's not 75, it's probably closer to 45, maybe even less than that. And it's probably that 75 minutes that's keeping people out of the standby right now. And that's why I say do the opposite. You see a wait time like that and you're in the neighborhood, look, check it up. Look at, because it's very likely the case that people see 75 on the tip board and they're like, nah, we'll come back when it says 40, which it never does. 60 is usually about as low as you ever see it. But people stay away. All right, that's it. I've done enough. I've heard enough. I've said enough. I need to eat and get myself a Tatooine sunset. I'm actually placing my order as we speak. Okie doke. I'm expecting average-ish. And Alice in Wonderland at 35 is pretty average. So too is Autopia at 25 minutes and return time in an hour. Big Thunder 45, standard, 3:15, standard return time. So far, nothing really standing out. Buzz Lightyear 35, return time of now-ish. Casey Jr. at 20. That suggests to me that they are running just one train. They have been really good at keeping it a 2-train system for quite a while now, which I've been very happy to see, because for the longest time, Casey Jr. was running just one train. But we'll look into that. But if it's 2 trains in 20 minutes, that's something. That's got to be the biggest queue ever. Chip 'n Dale's 45 minutes. That's a pretty good wait for Chip 'n Dale's Gadget Coaster. Dumbo at 45. God bless the folks who are standing in that queue right now. Finding Nemo at 30. Pretty standard so far. Nothing is really making me stand and looking surprised. So far, it's all pretty standard. Haunted Mansion 40, return time in 4 hours. So they're still selling Genie Plus. Indiana Jones. Look at that. Okay, so it's closed, but I would have expected the return time to be much further into the future. Can that be right? Can you book? I've never tried. I don't ever get Genie Plus. I've never tried to book a Lightning Lane reservation for a closed ride. Jungle Cruise, 35 minutes, standard. Mad Tea Party, 10 minutes, standard. Winnie the Pooh, 25. No way is that 25, ever. Matterhorn, 45, and a return time of now-ish. It's pretty solid, so that standby line is probably gonna be pretty fluid. That's actually kind of low, Matterhorn right now for what's typical. Runaway Railway is closed with a return time in 2 hours. We'll be there soon. We'll check in on that. Usually that attraction, when it says closed, it usually comes back fairly quickly. It's very rare that you see it down for more than an hour. Let's see, Smuggler's Run, 55 minutes. Every time I look at this thing, I'm like, I want to get in that queue. I want to know, what does a 55-minute wait at Smuggler's Run feel like? But the return time is now-ish. Toad's 25. Am I gonna have to get into one of these queues? I haven't been on anything. I've been trying to do mix-in rides with these reports. We have not been on a single attraction yet, so maybe we'll hit Toads on our way through Fantasyland. Peter Pan, 45. Pinocchio is 20. Very standard. Pirates, 45. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Although it could be because they're already testing, if they're going right side only right now, like we saw before, then that would create a 45-minute line. Cartoon Spin, 60, with a return time of an hour and a half. Standard, Snow White, 15. Space Mountain, an hour and 5 minutes. Standard. I'm not surprised by any of the Star Tours, 45. Rise is down to 50. We saw it at 75. What? Called it. Now it's too late. If I go over there now, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to go over there now and look in on that, see where the back of that queue is right now. Because I would be willing to guess that it's much deeper than it was when we found it. Called it again. It's the opposite. We were there earlier today, 75-minute standby. Section 4, the back section was empty. They were in section 3. These are, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Posted wait time 50. Now section 4 is half full. Shorter standby posted, but longer actual standby queue. It's the opposite, often. Oh, I will say that's a lot of folks down there. Normally, it's pretty quiet down here in the common area, but Chewy is drawing a crowd. Chewy's great. All right, so posted 55. Nothing has changed since our update, or since our looking at the tip board. And I can peek through the glass up there. By that, you can look. This is the only place really where you can judge how well the queue is moving at Millennium Falcon. It's the only place you can really see the queue. And what I look for to see if people are resting. I can zoom in a little bit, but if you see somebody up there just leaning up against the glass like that, that's not a good sign. That means that they are posted and that they have been doing a lot of this while in that queue. Those are the visuals. If you see movement up there, then you've got a good chance that that lightning lane isn't killing the standby experience. So that does not look good. This is a no-go. Although most of the time at Millennium Falcon, I'm no-go most of the time. One of these days, I'm gonna have to do some recon on Oga's Cantina and find out just how difficult it is. I mean, January is probably a good time for it. Look, there's nobody here. Man, I can't remember the last time I've walked by here and seen nobody in the sort of staging area for the guests that do have reservations for Oga's to get in. Now might be a good time to just kind of float in there. But Oga's is still drawing a pretty good crowd. Wow, it's full down here. Oga's is empty, but there are lots of people walking around and enjoying Galaxy's Edge. This is great. I am really enjoying. I'm enjoying all these people. Galaxy's Edge is often less dense. The crowds are less dense in this land specifically, relatively speaking to the rest of the park. The park could be packed to the brim with guests in every other land, Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, all that. You come to Galaxy's Edge and it's very chill. It's almost like the opposite today. The park that, we've been coming, well, it's actually kind of fairly busy, but it's not too bad today. Okay. But it's like Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, busy. Oh, did you guys hear that? Yeah, that's not the Mandalorian. I love it when they get up there. I think it's great. Oh boy. Yeah, it's busy here in Fantasyland too. Oh my.
Yeah.
So Casey was posted at 25. There's one train. No, they're running just one train. The world is a much better place. Fantasyland is a much better place when Casey Jr. is running 2 trains. Now you got to sit there and wait for the train to unload and yell guests out and then get in, and you got to wait for it to go all the way around and for that train to come back. Not ideal.
This way.
Let's just wait.
There's the back of the Pinocchio queue.
Help me get there.
Wow. That'll be posted 25 probably.
I prefer Snow White.
Snow White is full. Wow. So normally, this thing runs about, oh my gosh, it's going all the way around. Gosh, what is happening in Fantasyland today? There's the back of the queue. That's looking at 30 minutes probably. Peter Pan is, it's gonna be what it is always. Peter Pan, this looks like it always does. 2 switchbacks out here on the rail. That doesn't, where these queues have grown more than they normally would, Pinocchio and Snow White. This queue will, this queue's actually light. Not as full as it could be. There's some space in here. You can put some more guests in there. It's happening. 10 minutes so far, and I feel like we're about halfway, maybe a little further than halfway. It was posted 20, we saw 25 on the tip board. It was a little sticky there actually for a minute. Things were not moving at all, but we started moving again. Actually, look at Mr. Toad's go. Man, Fantasyland. Okay, so Toad, the back of the queue is now poking out into the main walkway out here. And she's adjusting. It said 20 when we get in there. I'm going to be really curious to see what she just adjusted it to. I don't know if I can get the camera around. When's the last time you saw a 30-minute standby from Mr. Toad's? Not the least of which in January. Maybe Disney does have it right. Maybe that calendar, the reservation calendar is accurate. 17 minutes to the door, but this feels suspiciously like a breakdown. Looks suspiciously like a breakdown. And I feel like it's been an ongoing issue since we've been in the queue. They've been fits and starts, operating and not something sticky in there. Well, it was in fact obviously a breakdown, and I posted here for about 15 minutes, I think it was, and got to watch their process a little bit. It's kind of fascinating. So they're cycling vehicles now, send a few empties through, and then we'll be on our way. And they just turned on the room sound. Hey, high five for Toads. So it looks like they're about ready to go. All in. We've been in this queue for 40 minutes. I'm gonna wait almost 45 minutes.
Welcome to Toad Hall. To ensure a safe and glorious drive in your little car, remain firmly seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside. Watch your children, and do try to drive more carefully than Toad.
Hey, there we go. What's happening?
Bienvenido
Woo!
a Toad Hall. Para su seguridad, por favor permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos. Chao.
I have to say, I am also quite proud of the group of guests in this queue who have stuck it out. Most people, a few people dropped out, but almost everybody stayed in the queue, including out there in the rear queue, knowing that this thing was down, nobody's moving, and they're out there in that extended queue also. Happy for Toad in this group.
Welcome to Toad Hall. Welcome to Toad Hall. To ensure a safe and glorious watch your children and do try to
That was an adventure that I wasn't expecting on this State of Disneyland day, but we did it. I just waited 45 minutes for Toads. That's got to be some kind of record. Now I gotta not feel like we got some ground to make up. Got some catching up to do. It's like I forgot what it was like to be in Disneyland. All right, so there's Mr. Toads. That's a solid queue. My goodness. You guys, it's as busy today as it would have been on any other random November day, October. I mean, they've really done it. I think they might have actually done it, Disney that is, leveling out the crowds. Because this should be the day. Of all days, this should be the kind of day that should be dead. It's a Wednesday, January 17th. There's no holiday, there's no event, nothing. And yet here we are. It's not the crazy busy day that you would see sometimes during the holidays or whatever, but it's plenty busy. It's certainly profitable. I would say this is a profitable day for the Disney company, and there's just nothing. People are just happy to be here at Disneyland. This is what I'm talking. When people talk about they need to do this, they need to do that, or whatever. For so many folks, they're just happy to be here, man. Just happy to be here. I'm one of them. I'm nervous. I'm scared. You see those strollers? Look how full the baby buggy parking is right here. Oh my gosh, and there's the back of the runaway railway queue. It's right there. It starts here, seriously. They're not kidding. Hey, all right. Wow, 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 wow. It was closed before, remember? So we didn't get to see what the posted wait time was. But I'm gonna guess this is 75.
You can go in like these post office and stuff and look.
Gotta be 70. Oh, it says 60. Incredible. Fantastic. That's amazing. Look at this place. And Toontown has not missed a beat. 45 minutes to meet Minnie. She is doing her tea party meet and greet today. Mickey is 30 minutes. Wow. So we said 45 on the tip board when we came through here, or when we looked at the tip board earlier. It is actually down to 30. I was gonna say, that doesn't look like 45 to me. That says 30, but that's the back of the queue. That's just not appetizing for Gadget's Go Coaster. I'm not sure if I can handle. It's like Casey Jr. You have to wait. You can 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 cars. 16 guests per train. Takes about 2.5 minutes, I think, to cycle. So what, 2.5 minutes times. Maybe 3 minutes. The whole thing is like it's a ride of 60 seconds, but about, let's just say a minute to get them in and a minute to get them out. So 3 minutes probably. I can't even guess how many people are in this queue right now. As it goes, and it winds back around this way. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. I'm gonna say 150. That's 10 cycles. That's 30 minutes. 10 cycles at 3 minutes each is 30 minutes. That's queue map. I forgot. I've got to go find Roger Rabbit. I got to go through. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to slide right through. Thank you. That was easy. Okay. Okay. We're doing it. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm having busy day feelings. I'm having the feelings that you have on a busy day. I should not be having those feelings on January 17th on a Wednesday. So Roger Rabbit is still 60 minutes. I know I say this almost every time we do one of these, every time I come through Toontown, but I'm just so proud of you, Toontown. I am just so proud of you. Oh man, this used to be my least favorite land in the park. I would dread coming to Toontown, didn't like coming here at all. They have just completely flipped the script here. I say this every single time, but it's just because I feel it so much. When I go in there, I'm just like, yeah, you did it. You really did it. It's great. And a lot of it is the loop, the music loop, but the way that the marquee, fits out there in front of everything, it's just great. It's just great. Love Toontown. Classic balloons too. Good old-fashioned regular balloons. Everybody's got a churro. Everybody's got a smile on their face. This is fantastic. Everybody's skipping. It's the best. Everybody's happy. And there's a monorail. Hey guys. There it is. Thank you. Everybody's waving at me. Everybody's saying fresh baked. 60 minutes standby for the Matterhorn, and people are just dang glad to be in that queue. 60 minutes for the Matterhorn. Whew. Add this list of things that I have to stop and watch whenever I come to the park. Monorails, trains, and submarines going through the waterfall. Outstanding. Look at that queue for Nemo.
It was a little.
Look at that. That's a hardy group right there also. God bless those folks. And not because the ride is poor. I'm actually, grown fond of it, but it's just a slow moving, it's not a very smooth moving queue. A lot of stopping and starting. You hope they have 2 boats loading. The board says 30 minutes. That's hilarious. Highly doubtful that that would be 30 minutes, even if they are running 2 boats, which I'm checking now. And yes, they are running 2 boats, but still. Wow, okay, monorail's taking off, but I still find that hard to believe. Head next door to Topia. 35-minute posted. And it's probably going to be all of that. Often it is the case where I feel like it's too high, but that's not today. Hi. Hold that queue. It's all the way to the top. It's all the way to the top, and it's in the rotunda. And there is Lightning Lane. Good luck to you guys. Good luck to Autopia guests. That's a no for me. But I mean, gosh, we're getting to the end, and it is definitely the case where that's not an outlier for what's happening around the park. That is consistent with what we found or have been finding since since Pirates? Since that point we were in New Orleans Square. Ever since then, it has just exploded. Well, no, really the tip board. When we were looking at the tip board, because Rise was a little low, a little light. That was about 1 o'clock. But since then, this park has just blossomed. The crowds have just exploded in here. It's incredible. Which brings us to a 55-minute standby for Space Mountain, which is par. Where the other attractions are higher than they usually are, 55 for Space Mountain is about what I would expect.
I see in your pocket the ice melts for your feet.
Have I ever said in one of these shows before that if they did nothing to Tomorrowland, I'd actually be okay with it? Like, people keep talking about wanting Tomorrowland what are we, 4.0 now? Well, we're on 3, right? We're on 3? I guess 1.0. Yeah, we're on 4? Anyway, I'd be okay if they didn't do anything. This land slaps, in my opinion. It really does. I think Tomorrowland's great. And again, a lot of it, like Runaway or Toontown, a lot of it has to do with the music. It really does work. But the attractions are great too. Space Mountain, I love. People love Star Tours. Monorail, Autopia, I love Autopia. Even Astro Blasters. Astro Orbiter. I enjoy Astro Orbiter. Just putting that out there. I know everybody's going to hope for every 2 years. People are waiting for the announcement at D23 for the new Tomorrowland. I don't know. I'm okay. 35 minutes for Buzz Lightyear. That queue that you're looking at is the standby queue. Lightning lane is just sliding in the left. That's a pretty healthy lightning lane queue, but that is a very healthy standby queue for Buzz Lightyear. You don't want to see it out here like this. You want to see it just over there. You want to see the back of the queue right around here if you can help it, or better even. But that's a debatable 35 minutes. That could be one of those cases where it's actually longer. 30. I mean, I don't know, dude. How do you get that done in 35 minutes? Wow, look at this too now. Do you guys see that? Do you feel that? It's here. The people are here. Look how happy everybody is, man. It's great. And that just leaves us with Frontierland. You never hear people talk about how Frontierland only has one ride. I mean, I guess you count the Mark Twain and the Columbia. That's 2 rides, I guess? I don't know. I feel like they exist on their own. I feel like the Rivers of America is its own land. And that's not, proper Frontierland. But I mean, I could make the case either way, I guess. But when I think about Frontierland, the only attraction really is Big Thunder. They used to have a great show. They used to have a great show with the Golden Horseshoe. But yeah, you never hear anybody talk about that though. You never hear anybody, hey, they only got one ride and a boat. But no, but Galaxy's Edge isn't enough.
I'm waiting till we get to start.
So that's a 40-minute standby. I was actually expecting worse. That's actually better than I thought it was going to be. The queue does go back that way, but you can get this done in 40. You can go back there in that queue in the standby and still do a 40-minute wait, and that's with Lightning Lane. It can be done. With Lightning Lane influence, that is, I mean to say. But it does look sticky in there. That's a lot of standing and a lot of not moving. There goes them canoes. Love them canoes, man. That's the only thing I haven't done since the parks have reopened. Seriously, since post-COVID, that's the only thing I haven't done yet. Still is the canoes. But that's our show today, guys. What a great show! What a great time we had today. I thought they opened the show with my narrative that what in the heck are they doing with that reservation calendar? Didn't make any sense to have sold-out days today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Seriously, single-day tickets in January. But my goodness, the park has really impressed me today. Disneyland guests, people here have really impressed me today with their ability to just love going to Disneyland. People just love going. I'm so proud of this park. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for Disneyland and for the people who choose to come here. It makes me really, really happy. Just seeing this park full of people enjoying themselves and just feeling the magic and the spirit of the parks. It means a lot for me, and this today has been a real pleasure, I have to say. So with that, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this show, or if you enjoy our program in general, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbake. We do extra content there for our viewers, behind the scenes stuff for the gold tier, other videos that we do, like, sometimes I'll vlog. The last thing I did, we vlogged a recon session at Radiator Springs Racers, giving you the rundown of how that I spent, I think it was 90 minutes in that queue in that recon session. Anyway, it was great. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So patreon.com/freshbake. And then follow us on our socials at Instagram at _freshbaked, on Twitter at freshbakedisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at freshbakedisney. And thank you guys, otherwise, for watching. I love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked. Happy birthday!